Hey trappers, Dale Billingsley here, Billingsley Brand Lures. So I wanted to talk to y'all today about state hopping, going out of state on a trapping adventure. There's some things that you can to help you get started. That I've had the privilege of trapping in 5 different states throughout the years, and I think I've got a little knowledge on it, and I think I've got some tips that can help you get started should you choose to want to go out on an adventure like that. So let's kind of get started here. The first thing you need to do, you need to pick a state, and I know this is kind of common sense, but you need to pick a state that has the highest population of whatever your target species is. Now, if you were wanting to trap pine marten, you sure wouldn't go to Louisiana, and, if you were wanting to trap bobcats in numbers, you sure wouldn't run off to, say, Maryland. I mean, like I said, I know that's kind of a common sense deal, but it's something that you need to think about. And the way you find these things out is to get on the phone and start making phone calls to game and fish commissions. Look at the state, see what part of the state you want to go to, get a hold of their regional office, and then make the phone calls, tell them who you are, what you're looking for, kind of the things that you are wanting, and they can a lot of times hook you up with landowners. Especially like if they're having trouble with beaver in whatever state it is, you can bet your bottom dollar they're going to put you in contact with somebody. So that's where you start. Then once you get with the landowner, you need to make sure that he knows what's expected of you, and that he knows what's expected of him. A lot of times these places will have a place for you to stay, maybe have access to a four-wheeler or a boat if you need one. You just have to ask. And then the next thing is, how do you handle the fur when you're out of state? Now, what I choose to do is take a scraping beam and a knife and a few stretchers with me. Beaver boards I don't haul. I just go pick up plywood while I'm down there and or wherever I am. If I was trapping beaver, I would just go buy the boards and make take the pattern with you and make the boards while you're right there. It's just easier that way instead of hauling them. That you have to look at the logistics of things. Do I really need to take this stuff with me, or can I? Is it something that I can get while I'm there, and I don't have to haul back and forth? That's what I choose to do. Now, you may want to haul a freezer with you, or maybe you want to rent a freezer or a locker or something of that sort while you're there. That's something that you're going to have to make that decision on. Personally, myself, I only drink twice a year now, and that's once before season, once after. It doesn't even look like I'm going to get to do it before season this year, and that's okay. I don't go out partying at night. If you go with a partner and they're the same way, what else are you going to do besides sit around of an evening after you're done skinning and stare at each other? No, let's just go ahead and get the fur put up. And that way, too, when you come home, you don't have all that weight of bringing green hides back with you and then the worry of them thawing on the road. Or when you get home, you've got a whole big mess of fur to look at. You can just roll right into whatever your next adventure might be, because you've already got the fur worked up. Everything's already done. So there's something there that you want to consider and think about. The next thing is are you going just on a fur trap adventure, or are you going to get paid? Personally, myself, if I can't get paid or I can't get a bounty, then it doesn't make sense for me to go. Now, that's something you need to look at. Is the county paying a bounty, or is the landowner themselves paying a bounty? Just little details like that you need to think about, you need to look into in order to have a successful trip. Now, with that being said, don't expect to cold roll into a new area your first time and highball on things, because I'm telling you guys, it's probably not going to happen. My experience, it's taken me at least the first 2 years just to get the weather figured out and to get the animal patterns figured out and to get the lay of the land as to where everything is. By that third year, you should be starting to see some numbers roll in and really go to highballing on things. That's just been my experience. Maybe yours will be different than mine, but that's the way that I've always felt, and the way that it's always been with me anyway. It's takes a couple of years to kind of get things to get noted. And again, if they're having a big problem with a critter in that area, once people understand that you're there to do a job. Sorry, school bus just rolled by. Once you're there to do a job, and you're there and you show them and prove to them that you're there for that reason, the doors will open. You'll have more land than you ever thought imaginable. Now, maybe just at a certain time of year, maybe, they don't want you there during deer season, or they don't want you there during duck season, or something of that sort. But that's okay, because that's how you get started. And then what you do, or what I do anyway, is find somewhere else to go to fill in the gap between your home state and when you can go to that one, or the next one, or the next one, or the next one. Find something, someplace to fill in the gaps. And I'm telling you guys, if you do this, you put your homework in and put your time in, it will pay you in the long run. Well, guys, I think that's pretty much it. I know this is kind of a short little deal, but I think there's some pretty good information for you. Also want to thank each and every one of you for subscribing. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I also want to give a special shout out to Corners of Today for being my 1,000th subscriber yesterday. That guy waited for 6 months to become, and kept watching, to become my 1,000th subscriber. So thanks a lot, Corners of Today, and thanks every one of you. We've hit our 1,000 mark now. I sure do appreciate it. They told me that I could never do it in the off season, but I believe I've shown them that you can. And you guys showed them that we can too. And I appreciate it. And I mean that. So for those of you that haven't subscribed yet, if you would, please poke that button. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. Hit that thumbs up for me and leave me a comment down below. I'll sure answer any questions I can, just as quick as I can. Till next time, this is Dale Billingsley with another one. Signing out.